How's everybody doing? Matt, the Angry Ohioan here, and I think this is going to be a very interesting conversation today. And this is about the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party sample ballots. And it might sound easy on the surface, but we really have to talk about how the process happens and what it does, and then some of the repercussions of that. And so, let me tell you what a sample ballot is. A sample ballot is a piece of paper that is printed by the party. It is from endorsed candidates that the party chooses. So let's just say you have a primary race. Let's say there's 3 Democratic candidates in that race. They all go make their pitch to a group of about 400 plus people, and they say this one is going to be the endorsed candidate. They have to all vote on it, and it has to reach around at least a 60% threshold to be endorsed. Now, the fact is if that happens, these candidates are then required to donate to the party so the party can print out these ballots and distribute those ballots. These sample ballots have only their name on it, not their opponents, and then they use the party infrastructure to either mail them or hand them out at the polls. I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. And so what happens here is that you have this sample ballot that is out there that shows the candidates. And now if you're somebody that doesn't go to vote all the time or is not clued in or glued in or, just paying attention to everything, you get this and just say, oh, these are the Democrats. And you don't really understand about the process behind it. And so this is a very powerful tool, basically to shut down the other candidates. Democrats, the Democrat 400 people in a room. Again, I'm in a county with well over 1 million people, something like I think it's 1.2 or 1.3 million people. So it says, hey, these 400 people say that this is the person. They hand it out to all the voters that they want, and they mail it out and they hand it out at the polls and say, vote for these people. And of course, if you're not really locked in on this, then you're saying, oh, okay, that's the Democrat. I'm going to vote for the Democrat. So the issue here is that this one is not only are you endorsing from the party, the candidate, saying that the party wants this, which does the party really want that? I thought the voters were supposed to choose, right? The voters are supposed to choose the candidate. But then they have this kind of unfair financial and infrastructure backing to make sure that the other candidates almost don't have a say or can't really run a competitive campaign. Now, the interesting thing is, in this race, in one of these races here in Ohio's 19th State House, 19th District, somebody said, you know what? This is unfair. I don't want to play by the rules. I don't know how to run this campaign. I don't know how to compete with this unless I do the same thing. I'm going to beat you at your own game. And what they did is they made their own sample ballot. And this is theirs. Now, it looks like a Democratic sample ballot. It doesn't say the Democratic Party on it. But she's like, hey, I got to compete against the Democratic Party and them sending out their sample ballot with my own sample ballot. Oh, boy. Did stuff hit the fan? Now, I don't think that's right. The fact is the party is stacking the deck against this candidate. Now, this candidate isn't fringe or crazy or somebody that is obviously not fit for office. This candidate has her endorsements. Not only the Democratic Women's Caucus and in some unions over here. I think that's the Plain Dealer, as well as former state house representatives and the representative actually in this district right now, the 19th, is endorsing this person. But the Democratic Party is saying that this is unethical. This is wrong. This is what you should not be doing. There was a statement that came out here the other day, and I was just like, why don't you just say the quiet thing out loud, right? And this is what it says. It says, over the past week, I've been seeing 2 fake sample ballots circulated to mislead voters on party endorsements. Tricks and smear campaigns from the Geauga County GOP is to be expected. MAGA deceitful tactics should be beneath Democratic candidates. So just in that first statement alone, it's saying like, just because I'm fighting to try to stay alive in a race that I'm running, that I'm putting my time, my effort, my money, my reputation on the line, you think that I am now beneath, that this tactic should be beneath you. But you literally started this. You printed the ballots. You endorsed a candidate. You are pushing me aside. You are putting thumbs on the scales. And I can't print out a ballot with my fellow Democrats on it and give it out under my money, my name, my campaign? I think that's pretty crazy. Now, the number one thing I want you to notice here is that they say the quiet thing out loud. And that's right here. That's where it says, this copycat guide circulated by a candidate who did not earn the party endorsement, diminishes the effectiveness of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party sample ballot and deserves to be called out. Now that's the quiet part out loud. What they're really effectively saying here when they say diminishes the effectiveness of the party's sample ballot, what they're really saying here is only we get to push our thumbs on the scale. Only the 400 people in that room get to decide who goes on that format of paper. Now, again, take a look at both of them. The sample ballots have different people's name on it, but they're not using the party's logo. It's not the same design, but it's kind of the same format. And they're saying, no, this is dishonest. You're using our format. You're using our ideas to push the thumbs on the scale, to manipulate the election, to serve you something that is obviously rigged, and then tell you it's democracy. So we own that proprietary influence. And I think that is so, there's something fundamentally wrong with that statement. Like I said, it says the quiet part out loud. It tells you exactly what the ballot is for, and then still tells you, hey, you're the one that's being unethical. What do you think about this practice? You know my opinion. At least you should. I don't believe in party endorsements in a primary. I don't think that they should be handing out these sample ballots to get some people across the finish lines in a primary. Now, in a general election, of course, you're Democrats versus Republicans or Republicans versus Democrats, of course. But in a primary, I want your opinion. Do you think that this opponent, Miss Gore, that she has a right to put out her own sample ballot, to use every tool that she has, even if it's kind of a similar format, to try to win this election and represent the people? And do you think that it is and should be up to the people? Or do you think that the party has a right to pick the candidate for the voters? Let me know and stay angry.